Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda of it, everything and amazing and spectacular 1v1 on the cold roads of, well, Crossroads Winter. Yes, indeed. In the north it is Caesar, fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland, Das Reich, taking on the role here of the 3rd Panzerdivision with Feuersturm, Overwatch, and Luftwaffe ground forces, triple infantry. Ready here to form up a vanguard to pierce the Soviet lines. Under the command here of Cognacs, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Taking on the role here of the 25th Tank Corps with mechanized support, shock rifle, and urban defense, triple infantry. He's ready to give those fascists a good beating. We got Volkswagen Kuhwagen here for Caesar, double conscript and doubling knees here for Cognacs. An interesting opening there from him. And as always, please comment, like, share, subscribe, and press the bell button to subscribe to help the Propagandacast in this eternal fight against everything else that isn't the Propagandacast. So do your part. And of course, a big thanks to the patrons supporters who have gone in a step further and of course allowing me to actually live by pledging on Patreon. So big thanks to those wonderful paragons of humanity, the ideals, exemplars of existence. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon. You can just donate a bit there. Links in the video description. More folks are here for Caesar. Sandbags in East here, so he secures the resource there. Western fuel secured by Cognacs, but not the supply line, as Caesar's already deviously struck there with the Sturm Pioneers and Kuhwagen. We got a conscript in there to reconnect the fuel there, but there's a Kuhwagen in the way. Squad leader Dmitriev Bogdanov there quickly ordering the most of the men to push back the Kuhwagen. More confident there for Cognacs. Sturm Pioneer could try and flank around here. Meanwhile, though, Cognacs lining up more troops launching an assault here on the car point. Centre here. Cognacs also wanting a push in the car point there. Thumbs up here, outmaneuvering Caesar, who is forced to deploy forces to prevent that from falling apart there. East side here, a bit of skirmish between Volkswagen and Engineers. Engineers lacking the firepower, the will, the aptitude to hold back a full Volkswagen squad there. Volkswagen going to hit this Volkswagen against the conscripts there. Lots of furious fighting here as Cognacs and Caesar clash. He said he's going for the munitions point, Engineers versus the Volkswagen is there. Car point claimed here for the Red Army, opening up precious fuel supplies here for Cognacs and the 25th Tank Corps. Conscript in the building here, Caesar lacking any tools to deal with them, basically decides he's got better things to do, getting his men pointlessly killed. Sturm Pioneers routed. Oh, there we go. Another Volkswagen squad there, plus another conscript here for Cognacs. We've got 4 conscript Engineers versus 3 Volkswagen Sturm Pioneers in the Kuhwagen here for Caesar. West side being claimed by the Red Army, holding up in the centre, also might be diverting more force towards east. There we go. Now Cognacs showing their tables on Caesar by going for his car point, leaving Caesar a bit perplexed and more importantly, a bit outmaneuvered. We'll have to see how Caesar decides to react, but there he goes, launching a counterattack here to reclaim the eastern side. Of course, conceding the west side. For now, here to Cognacs and his merry band of Marxists. Bit of skirmishing there. Back here, troops moving westward. So apparently he's not going to quite get a concede there. He's going to hope that he can manage with what he's got here in the east against what Cognacs has there and then make a successful push in the west. We'll have to see this actually pans out for Caesar or if it fails. Meanwhile, trying the way there for Caesar, going to be some tech here, possibly mechanized, possibly battlefield headquarters. Both would be excellent choices. Here we can see, though, that Cognacs' men are being surrounded here steadily and being gunned down out in the open. Kuhwagen narrowly makes it back home. In the west, they assault goes through Sturm Punch, the mine sweepers, in case Cognacs has been mining. Thumbs up there. Engineers routed under a vicious fusillade of assault rifle fire. Negro control about they can pop the internet grenade now, the Brandhandgranate. But it was a really rare weapon. And if they were to use any incendiary weapons like that, they would use the Molotov, or as they called it, a Brandflasche. Little fun fact, they got mines here on the car point there. Thumbs up to Caesar, quickly looking to turn things again in his favour. Comfortable hardcore up there for Caesar, and the German army comfortable about there. Back here, troops reinforcing. Medics on the way there for Cognacs as his men are in dire need of medical assistance. Help! I can't feel my finger. Well, that's because you don't have any. Oh. Can I go home now? Niet, comrade. Niet. You still got other fingers? And if you don't have fingers, you got teeth. Troops holding about there. Engineers grab the centre victory point. We got Feuersturm. Interesting choice. Then we go for battle of headquarters. Most players go for mechanized here and then use the blitz as an ambulance. But Caesar clearly is thinking in other patterns, other maneuvers. Maybe he's actually going to use the double blitz for transporting troops around. Probably not going to bother with it at all. But there you go, ground less than fuel point here. This is going to put Cognox in a bit of a tight spot here. As Caesar can quickly escalate there with the resources against Cognox. Like going to see some MP40s once he has the resource. There you go. In fact, we got one squad there already getting the assault package. Come to there. There's the Sturm and the Kuban combo there. Overwhelming the front of extension and then packing back here in the center. We're getting James pushing for the cup on the west side here. Another assault going in. We've got double flame for here for Cognox versus Caesar's infantry. Need to treat those fulcrum soon. And with MP40s, they would not be able to do much. Kuban not to get away there. Sturm Pioneers falling back. So great retreat there from Caesar. And these got fulcrum against Conscript. Then we got an MP34 for Caesar to help contain Cognox's infantry. Of course, there's also likely signals. He's not going to bother with a flak half attack here versus Cognox. Instead, he's likely going to try and take up faster, go for the schwer punted quarters, and push for some fast Panzerwaffe here versus Cognox and the Red Army. We'll have to see how Cognox responds to that possibility here. Kuban defend the car point here, troops reinforcing, healing. Medics already done there. South side here, not much progress from Caesar against Cognox. Cognox adding more pressure here to Caesar's car point, forcing Caesar to fall back there with his Kugelwagen. No mercy to the fascists there. And you 34 full jumpers in the country being slowly bled out. Engineers supporting there. Charging forwards, a great German assault here against Cognox, already extended, worn out men. Kuban hit it halfway to 22, still them for reinforcing. Basil being a good kitty. Falls to the rest of the conscripts. In fact, he's right next to the microphone for those unawares. He's been mostly been sleeping, but has been decided to awaken from his slumber. Perhaps to go back to sleep. You never know with cats. Got the car point there. Alright, looks like sleep it is for Basil. As long as his arse doesn't block the minimap, I'll be fine. Since where he chooses to sleep is right next to the microphone, but also right next to my screen, so occasionally his very large posterior can occasionally block up the minimap, which makes it a bit harder for me to track everything, so slight heads up there, but so far it does look like we does avoid the posterior Maximus Catechus from blocking the minimap. Down here we got 2 engineers. Additional submachines out there for Caesar. Full going for these Invictus munitions. Got the center of the MG34. And there you go, MP40 building full goes rounding here. The engineers, they stood no chance against the might of the Schmeiser. Good man there by Cognox here in the sandbags, expecting Caesar to run for it. But in this case, the Caesar's got the counter. He's got the minesweeper. Back here, we've got the tank command up there for Cognox. Slowly getting hit with that. We've got a Ken for Caesar. I was expecting a T70. And again, at this point, it seems very, very likely that after that, we'll be seeing a truck, a schwer punted quarters, and then trying to push out a Panzer force as fast as possible here versus Cognox as humanly conceivable. Comes going for the foot here. We got more troops from the north here. More MP40s there for Caesar and the German army. Die Dritte Panzerdivision. Following here, but they're a bit dug in. It's going to need more, I think, elements to deal with that easily. Could, of course, pop a smoke grenade, which is exactly what Caesar does. Thumbs up. Down here, comes going up there. Full basically lined up at the car point. Almost got the MP40s ready. And there you go, front of it as the assault Volksgrenadiers. Taking some damage there. They are low on health as the Volksmen not able to do enough. But even then, with 3 men low on health, the MP40s still spew out a ton of lead there. And the conscripts ultimately are forced to retreat here in the face of German firearm superiority. Sturm Rad, we then got some fuel. Mine goes off there. Seems almost getting a wipe there. East side here, bit of standoff. Sam's going down, but now we've got the assault force in there. T70 for Cognox here versus Caesar, who has only one cannon to stop this tiny tank terror that Cognox will soon unleash upon him. And the west side advance continuing up here for Cognox, taking advantage of the opening there. Very good. Back here reinforcing. Kuhlwagen need repairs again. Tech will of course be good here for Caesar very soon. Back here reinforcement hitting for Cognox and the Red Army. And then goes straight to mine. Sergei and Yuri blown to bits. Following ahead, the ending MP40s to them as well. Kuban also good to go as well there for Caesar. Reasonably good map tool, there's a bit behind the victor points here versus Cognox. Eastern munitions being seized here by the Volksgrenadiers supporting there. Expecting that Cognox will make the push here with the T70. So far, that actually seems to be pretty spot on. There's just one slight error issue, which is he's got nothing to scream like Raketen there for. Bit of a gap there in Caesar's planning. bit of a gap. This is position right next to the car point. Obviously, the car point is, you know, where things are going to happen. So, I like the idea, but clearly he overfocused on one thing too much and slightly neglected what might otherwise happen. Skirmishes from the west here, troops being rounded by the MP40 Volkskondies. Season moving up here. Lycaon with Radi got Sturm punished without Lycaon ever. They're going to have a tough time against the T-70 light tank. And there you go. Fritz there, blown to bits by a 45mm cannon shell there. Up north court, Muslim Indonesia. Let's 2 7 kills there. Truck on the way for Caesar. The Schwere Wehrmacht Schlepper. They'll be setting up for the Schwere Panzerhauptquartier. And you've hit 4 in the front of the T-70 light tank. Can't do much against it. Unless it's Incendium, in which case it does gain less penetration, active strong. Lightly damage the T-70. There you go. Kevin arrives, gets a good hit on the T-70 light tank. Fighting here for the Western fuel and carve pond once more escalate as Cognacs once more orders men to charge forwards through the snow. Kevin shoots, misses, hits some snow instead. Got the southern point there. Comes with this swinging off the Kugelwagen. Almost got the Western fuel point once more. And what is this? Cognacs actually uses the mobilized reserves upgrade from the Tankery Battalion Command. That is pretty much unheard of. Like, it is something intuitive. Most players never bother with it. But Cognacs, he just basically goes, yes, I can, comrades, and does it. That is some real impressive fighting spirit there from Cognacs. Truly an inspiration for players everywhere. They should be writing songs about Cognacs, small children's books, highly exaggerated World War II movies made in Russia in 2020. Anyways, continuing forward here, being slightly pushed back, Sturm Pune MD-54 up here. Folks what retreating there. We got lightning gun here for Caesar, some artillery support there. Tech down there, sehr good. Of course, need to authorize it schnell. Meanwhile, Cognacs keeping up pressure here against Caesar. Teaching the spearheading effort. Authorization on way for the Schwere Panzerhauptquartier. Very good. Engineers in trouble with the Volkswagen Sturmpionier. And of course, most importantly, the Kugelwagen. Just reinforcing healing. Line for gun halfway down there for Caesar. Authorization done. And he's actually not far away from a Panther 4. Meanwhile, Cognacs is quite some time away from any medium armor. He doesn't even have like a field gun. He can't go for one. Let's see what Cognacs decides to do with the Caesar line for gun. Right about down there, gives him some teleport to deal with darkening units, very good. Need to get his fuel back under control so he can get out that Panther 4 schnell. And Cognacs here, of course, reading the winds correctly. Of course, some ice that if he's going to hit by tank, so he needs the field gun out to deal with that. Thumbs up there to Cognacs. Really good read on the situation against Caesar. Really good read. Mines on the sandbags there as well. Very good work there, and they go. Folks comes up close this time though. Less of a great fight for the Volkswagen MP40s, forced to retreat, building about to collapse under intense German artillery fire from the Leichte Infanterie Geschütz. 18. Quadring westwards there, right into the T-70. The Kugelwagen great for many things, but not fighting like tanks. There you go, Sis 3 Division field gun out there. Most of the squadron upgraded to 7 men already. Beautiful work there by Cognacs. Where Caesar's playing, you know, regular companies too, Cognacs is clearly playing 4-dimensional companies too. The next level of companies too. Engineers come from steady for the Fultons riding in the neck, grab the MD-34. MD-34 in the car point, and you marching into the MD-34 there. Kuban in the centre, about to get knocked out here, and it's a tank grenade falls through it and knocks it out, leaving Caesar depressed and distressed as his precious Kugelwagen is shattered by the Red Army. A message has been sent that it will no longer be tolerated. They're coming for him next. Comes to the Fulton Sturm ponies on the west side. Had to find there. Pantervars on the T-70 light tank. The Ken could maybe follow it to destroy it. Field gun by ambush. He's gone for shock rifle. 2 times the Cognacs. Nice work there. Caesar can very, very soon go for the Panther 4. Model J. Oh, when you fit full caught in a pretty bad space here, but then Contra there, I reckon we have it's going to caught with the Contras there. That's it. The Contra will be right by the Volkswagen game actually fall right there. They're just being executed. And Contra doesn't realise what's going on, to might just get wiped out entirely here before they can get back there. There we go, annihilated. Steelhandgranate flying there from some pocket, and they're going to the conscripts. Heavy losses, heavy damage. Folks could actually sweep in and wipe out the rest before Cognac realizes what's going on. There'll be 2 wipes in a matter of seconds. A stinging blow to Red Army morale, and of course for the commissariat to have a closer look at Cognac's recent doings. One man narrowly survives that. Good lord. Back here to reinforcing healing, we got the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung Jod on the way here for Caesar and the German army. Caesar sending out their full Grand Eastern victory point. Under fire from the T-70 light tank there. Trying to get their victory point. We got 202 versus 462. Caesar's, Cognac has a nice victory point lead over Caesar. Caesar, meanwhile, not so much really. Not so much really at all, but soon with the Panther 4, he will display German technology and shatter the Bolsheviks. But there you go, not before he loses a full-screen squad. He could, of course, consider an Oberstleutnant squad now to sort of make up for the lot difference, and he does not. He commits the Volksgrenadiers. He believes in the power of the Volksgrenadier. Okay, moving out there. Shot fired. Okay, with the T-70, good hit there through the hedges. Second kept shot that goes wide off the mark there. Panther moving up the eastern side. Another hit on the T-70. Panther 4 nearly avoids the man. Kept the swap at the conscripts. MG-54 sitting up. The art tape there for Cognac. What are you trying to stall for the IS-2 now? That'd be pretty interesting if he does that. There you go, great hit from the field gun, the Panther 4. Caesar like to fall back in the centre. We got heavy fire in the machine to fire up steel plant with concussive grenades. In the troops there, it goes, stand them up there. A rather awkward situation for Cognac. Most of the troops there being basically just suppressed and stunned up. Panther 4 falling back from the major repairs and then hits the mine. Now it really needs those repairs. Line of gun being hauled forward, troops reinforcing. Sturm need to get to work there. He did cancel the Volksgrenadiers. He is now going for Oberstleutnant, some more hardened infantry with which to take on the Marxist Banshee. Fuel point in the west cut off once more. Caesar doing quite a good job in denying Cognac's resources. Thumbs up there to Caesar. Focus on the Guineas in the east here. We got smoke grenade by the troops in the west. Very good there by Caesar. Guineas routed. Small chance of wipe, but I don't think significantly big here. And there you go, getting close in. Note the reason they can't shoot each other right now is because they can't see each other. Sometimes the smoke grenade bugs out like that. And there you go, Conscripts routed. And suddenly they can see each other. And there you go, Orbs on the way. LMG 34 for these hardened elite German infantrymen. Conscripts west against the Volksgrenadiers. We got another field gun there for Cognacs. And I think that heralds that he's very, very likely going to try and stall here for the IS-2 heavy tank against Caesar. A bold strategy. But again, Cognacs is nothing if bold. Nothing if bold there again. Comes to the half-round heavy fire from the Panther 4 there. Lands another great hit. Troops out in the open exposed. There you go. A stinging blow there. Numerous conscripts dropped dead there by the explosive force of the Panther 4. We got Orbs in here with MG-54 supporting the troops there. Engineers routed. Conscripts falling back and the door suppressed. Line of gun, of course, can keep provide artillery support here. Caesar's then getting some good control on the map here against Cognac, and Cognac is starting to keep up with the rapid and aggressive pace of Caesar and the Germans. Panther 4 setting out there. Direct hit from the field gun though. Great shot there by Cognac. Great shot. Another hit, they're pushing down to half health already. Nice ambush there. Really nice, in fact. Other field gun ready. Very few players actually use the ambush with bow and anti-tank until they get it, so really nice work there by Cognac. Another MG-44 there for Caesar and the German army. Das Dritte Reich, with which to hold up the Third Infantry. Worth noting that while Cognac has gone for shock rifle, you actually get to see any shock troopers. Also, his access to one incendiary badge at the moment, so well set up, he could actually just really disrupt Caesar. And there you go, Kevin shoots up the T-70 and misses. Ken Rab, we got the fields there ready to deal with any German assaults. Thumbs up there to Cognac. East of it, coming back there. Sandbags down there by the eastern carve point. Caesar could soon go for another Panther 4. Of course, he may also start soon to figure, my opponent's likely to go for an IS-2 heavy tank. the current rate of fire there, or at least something heavy. So he may cause the side either to go for another Panther 49 finish fast, or begin stalling up for something bigger like Panther C versus Cognacs. We'll have to see what he does, but smoke grenade off. And I'm going to get into a bit of precision. They've got the T-70 about to support and launch counter-attack. He's got oh, he is going for another Panther 4, so he may just be thinking he just wants to close it out fast before Cognacs can get the big tank, though. At this rate, Cognacs won't actually be too far away from the IS-2 heavy tank here versus Caesar. He still has a significant victory point lead over Caesar as well, with 373 versus 174. That is rough, well, about 200. And coming about here for Caesar. Move 47, got a control there, direct hits, 5 kills on the Panzer 4, 5. Another shot there, some men dropping dead and under fire from the Panther 4, another field hit there, need to pull back the Panther 4 soon. The West here follows with the knees. Thyssen, of course, joining in the fun here. Second Panther 4 was down there for Caesar. Germany Society away from Cognacs and the Red Army. Another artillery shot there, Thyssen on the west side, comes to the defending Western East against the Obersoldaten. Slowly gobbling up the south there from Cognacs. There we go. Panzerwort for Caesar, pinlock machine being added. For added anti-infantry damage, plus a bit of anti-aircraft support. Very good. Thumbs up. Cognacs got in the heavy cover. Another line for Caesar, adding in more artillery here versus Cognacs. Very good. There we got full for the 2 Cognacs, the Molotov up there. Really good throw there. Caesar quickly falling back there in this face of that. Falling about there, they got the field gun constantly about the Thyssen coming up here as well. Could see a wipe in the full squad. They'll be certainly stinging blow. The Tyssen's got the Panther Force inbound to try and help deal with that. But will it be in time here to save? No, it will not. He loses another full squad there. We'll have to replace that infantry squad. MD-449 Tom needs to move in support here to deal with that. On the west, we've got the Panther 4, we've got the field gun there about to get assaulted here by the Panther 4. And there he goes, spotted. Could be dealt with here. In the east here, bit of skirmishes as well. There comes on fire from the Panther 4, full in there as well. Could take out the field gun here. That'd be certainly a big one here for Caesar against Cognacs and the Red Army. East side here, there's again where the major fight happened. See it, field gun there. Almost covered there, go Constable going wide there. Popping out his tank grenade, but the wrong timing, so the Panther 4 doesn't get a damaged engine. Thyssen getting ace level full in there, trying to Panther fast it. Support push the open in the center, I think here. And looks like Caesar is not having a ton of luck anyway here versus Cognacs. Trying to get those hits in. Panther being pushed back here. Shot fired. Back here. MG-34 at the ready. Tiltify raining down. Going for the carve point. Denying Caesar precious fuel. Meanwhile, Cognacs here at the 22-minute mark, almost 23-minute mark. Can go for the Irish heavy tank here versus Caesar and the Germans. Summoning forth Soviet steel of the heavy kind. Caesar meanwhile going for more Volksguns at this point. Of course, he may start to consider something a bit bigger than the Volksgun squad, something like a Jagdpanzer or Panther to deal with the IS-2 heavy tank. Line gun being forged there. Continues to execute it here. Very good. IS-2 move straight for the center. Will Caesar be ready to receive this Soviet heavy assault? And there you go. Direct hit from the IS-2 and the Panther came up in the IS-2 and heck return. West side Thyssen quickly bypassing everything, always on retreating. 139 versus 355. Cognacs continuing to join a nice victory point lead over Caesar here. Fixing up the IS-2. Field guns firing. Try and take out the engineers by the centre victory point. He could also try and, of course, deal with the engineers. They may not be aware that Cognacs is risking his arm a bit there by repairing so close to the front line here. IS-2 moving up, they're going to take for the infantry guns. Nice push there, we've got the Panther ready to deal with that. He's trying to, flanking the IS-2. It's actually a good chance opportunity, particularly with combat blitzes. Get behind the IS-2 with the increased rate of fire they get from the combat blitz. But doesn't quite go in aggressively. He's probably worried about field use nearby, which of course is actually a pretty good reasoning there not to do that in the first place, and certainly something they should consider before set that, but here we are. Panzer from the west there, conscripts routed. Pentacle on the west here, Pentacle on the centre, IS-2 versus the Pentacle on the centre, the on the up there. And damage in as Cognax pushes IS-2 way too far ahead. They're definitely a bit of a bad call there, to be honest. Bit of a bad call. Something that Caesar might just be able to punish. The IS-2 may just be able to get away. They got the Pentacle in there. Should combat blitz here and take it out there. Combat blitz, but no, he's going to try and take it out of range. Oh dear, troops between these as well. Then the IS-2 does survive there. Caesar deciding not to push in there. I can understand to a degree, but I also think we just use this line for guns to smoke the area here, preventing the easy firing there of the anti-tank against the infantry, and then charging the IS-2 and finish it off. So a bit of missed opportunity, I think, by Caesar. He doesn't use any tanks either, but like I think getting rid of the IS-2 would have been a huge win there for Caesar. Now Cognac's heavy tank does live to see another day here versus Caesar, and this could prove to be a problem. IS-2 by the way, they're close to Victory 1. 117 versus 350. Troops reinforcing healing, constantly reinforcing there, healing up as well. Bit of quad between the two sides. He's clearly setting up for something bigger. Most likely a Panther here. Of course, he could go for the Jagdpanzer in a slightly cheaper move there versus Cognax. And we do in fact get the Jagdpanzer there for Caesar and the German army. Deutschland. Western got Thyssen going for the MD-34, they're routing it. Eastern point, we can see is back here. We got the field gun there bombarding. Close to Eastland on the CIS-3 division field gun. Good work there by Cognac. Ramps up. Panther charging conflict, crushing Yuri. The west here finding on the western victory point here. Panther 4 there, half 8 to victory 3. Jagdpanzer is almost done there for Caesar. Close but no cigar. Panther westwards, 4 kills, veterans in 1. Great fire there. Sandbags shattered. Maximum crew out near, they're quite exposed. There you go, field returns with the Panther 4. Ace level in the field gun there. Another hit there. Once they got the Panther 4 to the complex field gun firing up the Panther 4. Jagdpanzer right about done, except he is at full, or at least enough pop. He can't get the Jagdpanzer in there. It is 15, and he's only got room for 11, so he needs to lose something here to have a likely chance of calling the Jagdpanzer versus Cognac. Meanwhile, can easily call him more army wants to. He may in fact going for T-34s, more likely looks like he's going to finish it flat. Could even go for like a KB8 though here versus Caesar. In the west, finding on the cemetery, they continue hand Panther 4, they're close to being knocked out. Quickly blitzing out of there. MD-4 forcing up only be hit with the T-70. In the center of the standoff continues. Panther 4's neat repairs. Finally put those in victory point. Got 56 versus 350. Caesar is really low on victory points here. Panther 4 there. There's the troops in the center. Heavy fighting in the east side. We're going to push for these to victory point. The orbs on doing these, but only to hit a mine and lose half the team. Fritz and Friedrich. And now they are streaming in against the opposite down there. First being wiped out there, still not enough room for the Jagdpanzer. Finally in the center, got the Panther 4 moving ahead with the damage engine. Need some more support there. We got 43 versus 350. IS-2 moving towards the center, Kenman ready. Shoots, and there you go. Jagdpanzer is now available here for Caesar. Push with the Caesar in the west. Getting off a Panther fast there, damaging into the Thyssen light tank here, the terror tank in the center of Kenman Browdy. That's really fighting to rain down here on Cognac's position, except that with the position where he currently isn't. In the east, IS-2 here versus the MD-34. Around the MD-34, we got an issue hard there for Cognac's. Probably in response to the Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer shoots, misses the IS-2 heavy tank. Getting in aggressively, go. Good hit on the IS-2 heavy tank. IS-2 turns into 122. We're going against Jagdpanzer, gets a penetrating hit on the 80mm frontal armor sloped. Another hit there. And we got a stupid boost barrage here by Caesar. And the Jagdpanzer gets knocked out. A stinging blow here in the center. We've got Silver firing down. And the artillery strike does nothing. A waste of 200 munitions. And top losing the Jagdpanzer. He barely did anything with that rocket strike. That's a double stinging blow. But down here in the base of Cognac, we got Caesar's Panther 4 opening up. They're doing damage, causing casualties hoping to get some wipes in, but fails. In the process, may have just distracted Cognacs enough to get some progress elsewhere done. Lines gun hitting seized by Cognacs. Things really getting ravaged for Caesar. Obviously, he goes for next. Will he just go for more Panther Force? Will he go for Panthers? Will he try for another Yak Panzer? Panther Force strikes in the center here, so close to the ace level. And not ace level, actually 3 ace levels a bit further away from the other corners. Panther Force, there you go. Machine gun crew wiped again. Panther Force gaining actually 3 increased mobility, increased rate of fire. Contained on the center victory point, being slaughtered in a torrent of lead and high explosive weapons. In the east, opposite on entry before the fire from the T-Sin light tank looking to block any movements there. We got 38 versus 39 here. Caesar is really hanging on by the skin of his teeth here versus Cognacs. Panther moving up, back up the English before T-Sin caught here by the Panther 4. But there you go, Field Gun Eyes 2 ready to deal with it. And we also got Land Gun, they're firing now at Caesar's positions. Need to pull back the Panther 4 before it's lost. Field gets a great hit, ace level by the way. Almost taken out there, got lucky I would say. In the west side, he haven't found the western fuel point here as Cognacs looks to claim it back here from the Germans. Caesar looking like he's on track for a Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5, and another artillery strike here, the Incendiary artillery. Unleashed upon Caesar's positions, like the wrath of God, if God was Stalin. Which he may well be in the eyes of the Soviets. Anyways, in focus the countries there. Panther moving westwards there. Need to fix up the other one. Close to 53 on that one as well. In the center, RS2 strikes on the exposed MB-54 crew there. We got 35 versus 323. Caesar's another one bleeding out Cognacs, but Cognac still has a huge lead over Caesar. Still has a significant one. Massive. Bigly. Oh, so the conscript flak-half tech for Caesar at this timing is a curious choice, to say the least. Like, I think he'd go for a Panther. But instead he's going for the flak half track. I'm curious as to the reasoning on that one from Caesar. I'm not entirely sure as to why. I mean, obviously it's great versus the infantry. There's a lot of anti-tank guns. Plus you got all the armor. The flak half track in this regard feels like it's a bit weird. Plus, it's not like Cognacs has any air support. It's not like it's shutting down, like, you know, any air support from Cognacs. So just, it feels a bit like a strange choice here. And not what I call the most optimal choice. So yeah, that feels weird. And you can't even get that in because this is full pot. Oh, there we go. Actually, it was. Apparently, there's a lot less. Yeah, 6. Panther for the eyes too. Not hit them from the field gun. The Panzer 2. We got ace level there as always. MG folks will come from the centre. Artillery fire raining back and forth in the centre. Got heavy fighting there. Caesar is desperately and firmly trying to keep the hand out of Cognacs' hand to keep himself from bleeding out there. Engineers routed, almost wiped out. Needs to go another push to the T-74 quickly moving in to prevent Caesar from doing exactly that. Panther on the T-74 light tank. Flak half track is out, and again, I have no idea what he's planning to do with that. I mean, our best guess he's looking to like lock down a point from any harassment from Cognacs, but I'm not entirely sure if that's something that's going to like help him win the match. All of a sudden taking a fire there. We got a few shots in the RS2 tank. Panther moving back up by Academy Alpha. Almost guarded here. Betty 4 game on the Panther 4. Great hit from the field gun there on the Panther 4, pushing it back. In the center, Panther 4 there, close to 52, push back conscript. We got 35 to an 83, H5 down the spot. Back hit reinforcing healing there for Caesar. Eastern victim claimed by the MU-34, they need to be careful there. Any good push from Cognacs could easily kill the machine crew and steal the machine gun. And the center got awesome flak after the conscripts, certainly pins them down fast. But there you go, neat hit from the field gun, 4 pop smoke, MU-34 with the T-Sin east. 35 to 71. More to the far rain down. And the center company special MU-34 was on wing ahead here. Flak half-track need repairs. You should actually consider a mechanized regiment to just help with repairs here. I think that'd do a lot of work there for Caesar. We'll do a lot of work there. I was assuming head again for Cognacs. Greated here from the Panther on the flank. Veteran 3 again on that one, so that's 2 Veteran 3 Panther. That was Caesar, of course, 1 is Veteran 4. In fact, it's halfway to Veteran 5 at the Ace level. Western field being Caesar, then we got the Ace farming hit. So in the center of the orbs closely wiped out as Caesar is spectacularly trying to grasp it and make it his own once more. But Cognac is obviously not looking to have that happen, if possible. In this case, that fails. Another cabinet for Caesar. He's got another artillery strike ready as well here versus Cognac. So let's see if we can actually aim it this time around. Panther on heavy fire here. Halfway to death, but also very, very close to Veteran 5. Panther gun sending heavy fire from the Germans. Second Kemper ready. Fighting for the Western field here. He's got a lot of fuel really versus Cognacs, but he's not really able to do a lot with the fuel. He's not able to do a lot with it. Which is probably also whether the Kemper feels a bit weak, or the flak half track a bit weird. Just doesn't feel like a great choice of the resource. Then there you go, flak half track down. Flak half track down. Ultimately didn't last long. Going here for the field, we can wipe it up. We got this ready. We got rocket strike here against Cognac, so we get lucky once more. Will Caesar have the luck once more follow? Or will luck follow him in the first place, or will it be another whiff of rocket strike? Yup. Complete whiff. The only casualties here being squirrels. In the center, Panther falls up the indemnity and takes the controls on up close to their range as well. But Ken moving ahead. 27 was 257, 26. On the west side, Panther 4 on top. We got ace level though. Could Common Blitz, but I think clear out the H5. He almost got it. There we go. Common Blitz, which increases rate of fire. Oh, misses though, but still has another chance of getting shot easily. And there we go. Got the H5 there. Good maneuver there by Caesar. Leaves Cognac's without a tank destroyer. Though, of course, still has 2 light of field guns plus the H5 or the IS-2. Also, on that game, HT3, Caesar's got 23 versus the 257 there of Cognacs. Panther 4 knocked out with the field gun. Not entirely sure what happened there, but it didn't work out for Caesar at all. Leaving just with the Panther 4 now here versus Cognacs. What he's going to go for next? I mean, a King Tiger at this point I think would be way out because of just too much manpower to put away. Panther, he could maybe make work, but he may just have to go for a Panther 4. Meanwhile, Cognacs is an opportunity to charge it with the T-70 rolls going for the Katyusha. Loses the T-70, though, ends up taking too much attention there from the Germans. Second Panther 4 gaining veteran 4. We got 23 versus 251. Caesar continues to desperately hold on for dear life. Films up in the Panther 4. Almost got the Panther 4. Like he's going to lose it. Puts the complex, but there you go. Gets stuck with the IS-2. Leading Caesar with no tanks. He still has a bunch of infantry, still has support weapons, but he has no armor here versus Cognacs. At this point, I'm guessing it's going to be a Panther, just a bunch of Panther 4s out here from Caesar. So the situation remains, I think, quite precarious. Western Midpoint seized here by Cognacs. We got 23 versus 234. Eastern Point being seized here by Caesar and the Red Army. IS-2 sitting eastwards. And we got the support cleared out there. Another sting by Caesar and the German army in the east here. IS-2 pushing out this folks gun is very close to 3 there. Close to the ace level. An advance from Cognacs as men are being ordered to charge for machine gun fire. Whatever. The victory point is what matters, not their survival. And there you go, Katyusha firing the machine gun. The Kednev is there, opening up for push for the IS-2. And there you go, further strikes made, but few casualties to Caesar's forces. Rather lucky for Caesar, though, things can quickly change. IS-2 actually sitting about to fire its, wow, fragmentation shells. It's actually rare to see someone use that ability, but thumbs up the Cognacs. Almost got the MU-34 there with it. It think it actually would have done the job, though. I mean, that's like a 122mm fragmentation shell. That's a lot of fragments. That's a lot of fragments. And you for the routed. Another Panther ready for Caesar. Also in the west routed here with the Conti T-34 combo. I mean, obviously the T-34 did most of the work. There you go, Panther with the T-34. Eyes coming up here. Encountering the kidnappers. One getting the ace over there. Good for Caesar. We got 13 versus 212. Caesar is desperately holding on here for dear life. We got 2 points left. 7 points left. 5 points left. 3 points left. Almost got the point here, but I don't think it's going to matter here. We got 1 point left. And with that, it is GG. His fate is sealed. And there you go. Game over. A victory for Cognac's, a loss for Caesar. A brutal battle here with a lot of great action in the end. Cognac's just had the upper hand there versus Caesar. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I've learned something from it. If you did subscribe, like, share, comment on the telephone, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for a nice episode.